Tom Link, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. So doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 30th June 2025. Last day of Overlord, so we're going to be recapping it. Now, you're going to see me looking at my screen a lot. What I'm going to do is, because I only watched the show once, I'm going to show you the show. And I'm going to show you the show in a way where I'm going to be... I cannot talk. So that's the goal. The goal is to do what? The goal is to go on Netflix, and I'm gonna play every single episode, just so we can watch it. Just so we can be like, okay, well, guess what? I know exactly what's going on. Okay, well, guess what? I know what happened. Okay, so guess what? This is what it means. I don't know the show by heart. Now, I take advantage of this. This is the next show that I'm gonna be recapping. Is gonna be Squid Game. So there you go. We have it. So Overlord season 1. I should take a note actually. Yeah, thank you. I did a video with this. Okay, I did a video. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm nervous because I thought it was the 30th of July. The show was leaving. It's leaving tonight, and I had a busy day, so I have 3 hours to recap the whole show. But that's okay. That is okay. That doesn't matter. You know why? Because we're not going to let it affect us. We're not going to let it tell us, hey, this is the problem. It's simply, and I do mean simply, and mean to an end. So let's get it. I'm going to do Overlord. Really good. Really good. Watch the whole thing. Okay, so we're going to start with season 1. I know this is a very not natural way to do it. Usually what I do is I take notes, but the notes are way too much. So season 1 is actually pretty good. Season 1, episode 1 is actually pretty good. It's a guy, which is the main character, the MC. He's in a game, right? The whole thing is about how the game is supposed to end, and doesn't end, and then he's stuck there. He gives them, we see the Guardian, which is super cool, and his castle, and how everybody was like a victim to him, right? We see the villains, we see the Guardian, we see Isengol, we see really the player and the game. Now, this, technically speaking, is not super important, because you're building a world that's not going to happen. So you're building a world which is an MMO, but it's not an MMO, because after this, so basically what's going on is the MMO is going to close. They want to see the closing, and he's the last one there. He's the only one that still care, and he's saying, "Oh, we worked so hard." He's the Guardian, which is super cool because we kind of see all of the Guardian. Him, we don't see him a lot. Her, she's super important. We don't see her a lot. We see her a lot. There's a bunch of characters that you don't really see. The show has 4 seasons, but it felt like it should have had more season. So we meet Albedo, we see how all of them are, they're all simps. And this is one of the things that really turned me off with Overlord. Overlord season 1, episode 1 wasn't enough to get me to like the show. First of all, sorry, as an Aram, very Aram anime, which I don't like. I don't like Aram, because it doesn't feel real. And it's weird because give me fucking chakra, give me some fucking jutsu, and I'll watch it. If something like that, I won't watch it. I don't know why that is. That's just the way it is. I gotta check if I'm still uploading. Shit, we're taking a long time to upload. What the heck? Give me a sec. Got a mosquito that's kind of nibbling on me. It's not gonna bite me, but it's not gonna bite me, but it's not gonna not bite me. Okay, so yeah, so the first wasn't really good. The first couple episodes were actually pretty bad, and I didn't want to watch the show. But then I gave it a shot, and it's actually really good. So then you're having Albedo, you see you kind of have access to how the garden was created. You're going to be super important because so in the MMO, the first thing that this character says is, "I miss my old team," and the garden are kind of the children of his old team. So they're to a certain degree, they're representative of how the team was. So that's actually quite important. We have Albedo simping. See, very first episode we have simping. It's weird because again the pretense on why we're getting Guardian is one last goodbye, right? Then we're waiting, we're seeing a battle, which is super cool. We're really getting to meet them, and we meet the brothers, the sisters. It's just a goodbye. But then at the same time, you're using this as a way to introduce characters. So we have a fight, which is to show the power of the Guardian. First of all, but second of all, as to show you what to expect. So it's kind of like a good thing when it comes to it. That's pretty much it. We have the ending of the game, and it doesn't show up. It's just the Guardian itself are also important because you establish how strong he is. So at the beginning of the series, we have this character, right, which is all thing goes, and the first thing he says is like, "Oh well, we were super strong. We put in so much hours. Our guild was almost unrivaled, and then the Guardians serve as a way to show we really were unrivaled. We really were the strongest out here. We were gods amongst men, you know, and it's nice, but at the same time." Possibly not the best way to start an anime, because for me, an anime, what is nice is you get a character that's kind of shitty, and he has a good soul, and he has, like, for example, take three of the most amazing anime. Ichigo, weak, but wants to protect. Naruto, weak, but wants to be Okage and prove that he's worth it. Luffy, weak, but he wants to have the best crew and be the Pirate King. Takataka Titans. Eren, weak, but sees his mom get killed by a Titan and swear revenge. And this one, I think goal, and I shouldn't compare, but it's just the reason why I didn't like the show at the beginning. I think Gold present himself as the strongest characters. Now, at the end of the show, it's kind of nice because it's gonna be how can I say this? It's kind of nice because in this new world, you can see that there's a lot of new people that are stronger than him, you know, and it's not his strength that's lacking, it's more so this lack of knowledge of the new world that's gonna happen. Besides, the show's called Overlord, so himself and the Guardian are gonna try to rule the world, the entire world, you know? That's pretty much it. So now we have episode number 2. We have, again, the character, the Guardian stepping for him. But it's kind of cool because you're seeing every single character, you're seeing every single Guardian. I'll warn you right away. Some Guardians are more used than others. For example, Demi-Urge, Albedo, the twins are really, really used. But the fact that we have this 12 Guardian are super important. They all say goodbye to him, they all plead the legends to him, which is cool because it's established powers. It's a really risky choice to establish your character as one of the strongest. It's a really risky choice into establishing your character as, I already have an army, I'm already kind of a big deal. But it's a really nice choice when it comes to it because you show that your character is the show lacks a little bit because there's no clear purpose of the show. There's no clear goal. It's like, oh, I want to rule the world. But then you're gonna rule the world, you're not gonna know what to do with it. I got bitten by a mosquito. That kind of sucks. Then we see that the world is not there. We have the guard that says, "What's up? What's gonna happen?" And it's like, okay, well, I am gonna need your help. I'm gonna need your help. Right away, I'm gonna set up some defense. So please go back to your station, and I'm gonna need you. It's not super important. However, it's nice. We also have the scene where the Guardian talks about how great he is. When I talk about harem anime, I also talk about how he's viewed as a god. There's some Guardian that are fighting, which is cool because the infighting can show that he needs as a leader. He's the one that's going to say stop fighting. But it doesn't serve purpose because it doesn't go anywhere. For example, there's this vampire, and then there's Albedo, which is succubus. They're fighting for the love of him. At the end, nobody gets a love, so what's the point? We're saying how we need him. Now the player's like, why am I not leaving? Why am I stuck here? But then he transformed himself into Lord Momont. And now Lord Momont, in a couple of ways, is actually really cool. Lord Momont is a second character, but is the main character. So he's just wearing a disguise. So Lord Momont acts, and this you realize more later on, but act as a good person, as an adventurer, a spy, but also I can do action as Lord Momont that I don't do as Ivan Goal, which is really good. We have the player asking the guardian to pledge to him, and he goes and he sees this new world, and it's kind of cool because he's like, I didn't like the world before, I didn't like how my life before, so my life is kind of better here. He should reach other players because he thinks that he's not alone. The first thing that he wants to do is get other players, but then the force isn't in and there's nothing. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. He's been a good leader. He's been a good leader in a sense of he started to treat his guardian a bit better, right? Which is kind of cool. And then for the first time, we're seeing the enemies. To episode in. Is Overlord great? No. Enjoyable? Yes. So at the very least, it's enjoyable. We have the human army. Now, what is really cool is this character is one of my favorite characters. This guy right here. My favorite character is going to be super important. He is quote-unquote the strongest warrior. So, you know that he's representative of the human, and because he's the strongest of humans, he's the main antagonist. Now, what the Overlord do so well is it's not precise. Who's the good guy here? Lord Ainz is the bad guy because he's conquering. Then he's our main character, so we want him to conquer. So is he the good guy or is he the bad guy? It's up to you to decide. We have him talking about giving orders to the guardian. This is one of the really cool thing. He used a mirror. This is a really important scene. You use a mirror to see the world, and it's like, yo, this is my new home. So how do I get it? And one of the first things he sees is soldier killing off farmers because they're not following some laws or something like that. And he's like, okay, well, I have to protect them. Now, the funniest thing is, he decided to interact right away. And one of his first notion as a player is like a quest. See, Overlord often feels like it's a player playing some quests. So we have the super weak Overlord. This character is super important. You see that running away, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna save her. Overlord also suffers from a lot of preconceived notions. So, for example, I'm gonna save this character because I want to save this character, but guess what? This character is actually super useful, so I did right to save her. The soldier coming in, he kills the soldier, and it's really cool because he kills the soldier. The first thing he does is transform the soldier into a undead knight. So you can kind of say, okay, well, guess what? He's an undead knight, so he could be. It was a purpose more than just saving the girl, They're thankful and they're asking for help, so you give them 2 horns, which are magical elements that will give them goblins, which they use, which is super cool. We have the undead knight, and the other knight, which is really, really cool, is right away he creates one. He's able to kill a lot of them, and he saved the village. Also, one of the soldiers tells him like, "Yo, I'll give you gold if you let me be." So there's already corruption, Then he saved the village. It's like, yo, all I wanted to do was to sell somewhere, so they trust him. So this is kind of establishing himself. The whole Cairn village is kind of important because you establish yourself as a guy who's interested into the world, but interested in the sense of wanting to help or conquer. One major spoiler. The whole show's about carrot and the stick. Am I a generous leader? Or am I a dictator? So then you establish businesses, and again, Kern is kind of cool because you see the village that's Kern, right? And then Kern is a cool village because it's like it's a small village, but it's your first move into the world. So it's kind of nice. The leader tells them how there's a lot of corruption and his villager were killed. So I think Gold feel kind of bad about it. But at the same time, it's weird because I don't really feel emotion. And even though he saves this, he doesn't feel sadness when he tells. It's weird. He doesn't really feel sadness when the elders say, "Hey, a lot of us got killed," but then he feels. He's a player, so that he possibly sees them at an NPC. Are you sad when an NPC dies? Certain NPC, yes. Most NPC, no. You know. Then what is really cool here is you come back to this guy, which is the good guy, the hero of the land. And yes, it's tough because we just saw that there was a lot of corruption, right? So you saw that there's a lot of corruption, and then you see in the night, and you're like, okay, well, if most of your men are corrupted, I kind of think that you're corrupted too. But then can you judge for somebody that can you assume somebody's corrupted because it's when they're corrupted, right? And that's a bit tougher. Okay. To be honest, it's such a hard show to give me a sec. Such a hard show to recap. Play the tower. One of my favorite games. I worked so hard today. Didn't stop. It won't be long. We're pretty far in the games though. One of the things that we have to do are AFK. It's a great show. Overlord is not a bad show by any means. It's just one of the most interesting shows that I've ever watched. You know? It's not bad, but it's not great. And when you look at it, I don't have a lot of complete anime under my belt, so this is one of them. You know? I have maybe 14? 14 is a good number. Maybe you're fucked up. All I want is done the stars. We'll delete TikTok. Now I don't have space. Yeah, we've been working really hard today. Really hard. And then we're not done. Because I'm going to do this. We're going good then. 4 minutes an episode. There's 13 episodes per season. Which equate to 13.4. Which is 52. 52 times 4. Which is 208. 208 divided by 60 is about 2.5. So this is how much time it's going to take us. And if it takes us this, we're good. All I wanted from the start. I got mental issues. All these bloody issues.
This is the iconic Wembley Stadium. It's the home of the FA Cup English internationals.
It's okay, they used to scream at me to say, "Oh, shut the fuck up, go inside." In fact, they're nicer. I'm happy. Are you happy that I'm happy that you're happy? Okay. 52 minutes. Okay, let's go. Sorry about this, guys. Your boy is a hard worker. Season 4. Episode number 4. Got the church. How important is this? The reason why the church is important is because the name of the episode is The Master of Death. So people are still trying to figure out if Ivan Gold is a good guy or bad guy. And if Ivan Gold is a bad guy, then we need to pretend he's a good guy. But then since we don't know who's the villain and who's the good guy here, then your perception of villain, all you need to know is the protagonist and the antagonist. Now, who's the protagonist and who's the antagonist? That's different. For some people, for example, Attack on Titan, is Eren a protagonist or is he antagonist? Up for you to decide. By seeing people of the church, we're seeing kind of like the higher power, which is super, super important. I think we'll decide to wear a mask, which is important also because He wanted to establish himself, and when you look at it, it makes sense because he doesn't know this. He doesn't know this world. He doesn't know how dangerous it is. He doesn't know how strong the enemy are. And the first thing they're trying to do is trying to find the players. But if you're NPC, if you're a player, asking an NPC who is their other player, he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" She's pretty good. Got some fighting. Okay. Demon against the player. See? These guys are fighting. Now these guys, we saw them in the church, right? We saw them in the church. So you would think that they're good guys. But then they're fighting a guy that we just saw. And I know that he's a good guy, so then your perception of good guy is not. Now, why is that important? Because I think Gold can either choose one side or the others, right? Does he help the side that's not the strongest, or does he help the side that is just helped him, right? That's kind of complex. And again, kind of cool because right away you have an upgraded strength. You fought soldier and you kill them with a simple soldier. Now you have demons with wings. So are they stronger than you or not? Now, technically speaking, they ask him, "Hey, want to help us?" He's like, "No, I refuse." And then he's gonna start fighting them. So it's him against everybody. And then of course he beats them super quickly. That's the problem with Overlord. There's the classic trope of the MC that is way too strong. We got the guy using a magic item. Now, this is kind of sad because using a magic item, which is kind of important as a player, you have magic items. But he's kind of the only one that uses one, you know? However, it's a spell that is a level 2 or 3, I don't remember. And then Isengol is able to use stronger spell. We have a really cool moment between him and Albedo where she's like, "Hey, thank you so much." He said, "Oh, you did good. We'll come back to the castle." And we're like, "Okay, well, guess what? I know more about the enemy. The enemy being the whole world. I'm a bit more ready to fight it, you know?" So it's kind of cool. The whole goal is established in episode number 5, where it's like, "Well, I want to establish a kingdom." And that's pretty much it. We meet Selfier, which is the vampire. Again, in the season 1, this is cool because you got Selfier and Albedo that are both fighting for the love of Isengol. So these two together, you know that there's animosity. You know that there's a common goal, which is to seduce the main character, right? It's a question of who's gonna get him, right? And that's kind of nice. All these fucking issues. This is hard to recap because I'm telling you the story and I'm not really recapping, right? But you know what? It's about making tests and making mistakes, and if this is a mistake, this is a mistake. If it's not a mistake, it's not a mistake. We got Moment, Return of Moment, and this time it's actually pretty cool. We saw the world, and he said he made a mistake. So technically speaking, he went to the it's complex. He went to the thing, and he was like, "Okay, well, I'm like this godlike creature." Then he didn't know who was a good guy. He didn't know who was a bad guy. He didn't know who to help and who not to help. Then he come back at Moment. Moment was an adventurer. And there's a couple of things here that are super interesting. Is he trying to play the game again? Is he still misplaying the game? Is he trying to get information? He's trying to be a good guy? A bit of everything, you know. Choco wafer. So of course, there's a bronze adventure. Now, it's actually really cool that they place that there, because it's actually a ranking. So bronze are low level adventure, silver are higher level adventure, gold are higher, platinum, etc. Why is that cool? Why is that super interesting? Well, it's interesting in the sense of it's a ranking system, which is a kind of like a game thing, but the bronze medal is an important thing. So for example, when his friend get captured, use their brown metal to find the criminal, which is kind of cool. Again, this is something that's a good idea. It's presented in a concept that is not good. Overlord's trying to overplan things. So what they do is, oh, well, remember this item a season episode ago? Well, this is why it's important. He presents himself as an adventurer, and then he fucks up. He breaks a potion. So this is also a cool moment. He gives the potion to somebody else, and we're following her. Word also does this, which is really cool. It'll take lowly like NPCs, and what it'll do, it'll be like, hey, guess what? Here's a potion. I broke yours. Here you are. I'll take the NPCs and I'll show us the world. For example, a lot of the enemies are NPCs. A lot of the NPCs are kind of the good guys. They're like the chivalrous. They're representing good. They're representing the good in the world. The fact that you're killing them is kind of sad. So here's a really cool thing. They give the potion, which is a red potion. Now, why is that important? Because it is healing, and it kind of shows. It kind of shows that. Well, this one doesn't have potion. The one I have to be careful with. We're having the ranking system and how it could be a good way to learn about the world, from bronze to everything. Because again, the presentation. What is actually really cool here is you're presenting characters, which is the guy with the long hair, the old woman. They're potion makers, and you kind of see the way potions are made, but you kind of see also magic, low-level magic. Then he's picking up some quests, which is not super important. And then he meets his team. The fact that he meets his team is kind of nice because, again, there are possibly people to introduce him to the world. Also, it's a action of moment, not I think gold. So this is also really cool. You're seeing a duality in the life of both. You're seeing that this guy is doing something, this other guy doing something else. This is really cool. What's next? So they're talking about the job and what they're establishing themselves as a party, which is kind of cool because you see the personality of each of them. It would have been better, but then they died pretty quickly. So